We're back on day 28, the final day of week 4. It's week 4 already. Um, and we're going to wrap up the whole story around the stack. And the focus of today is going to be the impact of the that the stack has had probably on my life, right? And the way I use the stack is to find truth, right? And while we're programmed to believe that our emotions are true and we're programmed to believe that our programming is true, the stack is really a way to look inside of yourself, inside the voice, and trust that the answer is within you. I didn't know about your experiences, but there's so often um, I would have a crazy revelation, right? And I would, write a letter really to someone else, and it was profound. Like I've written it to myself, like almost through myself, like God speaking to me. And that's happened quite a number of times in my life, and I didn't know how to create it. It seemed very random. Um, either talking to someone else, and I'm like speaking this exact advice that I needed at the time, and or written letters the same way. And the stack for me has become a tool that I can access this what used to be a phenomenon of wisdom, and openness that I can access. And I've learned to trust the stack. Some of the decisions about my body. I can dispel stories. Around some health issues. I had quite a number of back surgeries. I got hit by a car, run a marathon. And all these things. While it's a really good story about why I can't, why I shouldn't, maybe age, maybe some other things. The truth comes out, and I view it as the kind of a message from God reminding me who I am, what I'm here to do, and that in fact I don't have the limitations of the story that I previously created. Being uh, once again is for me has been trusting the voice. I never, it's always in the top of my mind that some of the things that have happened to me, for me, however you want to term it in my life, have just been phenomenally ridiculous. Like seriously, I don't know how I physically survived injuries and situations where people that know me joke about the whole 9 lives thing. But I've always been super aware that God totally loves me, and while that's weird to actually feel, and maybe our society has taught me that it's really weird to feel like I've been chosen for anything, like I am special, like I have, and I don't give myself permission to actually give my gift, to actually enjoy my gift. So the stack is in this area has really brought me to a place where I can actually embrace um, the truth, and I'll call it the truth. It's a tool to access the truth. Balance for me is same kind of a situation. For those of you who know me, I've had kind of some dramatic events here in the last year or two. Obviously, my partner, who I've been with for 9 years, passed away, and that was really kind of a devastating situation. And the idea that something like that could happen for a bigger cause. Um, we had worked closely together on a number of things. Um, that possibility, it seems horribly counter to the guilt I feel, that she would pass, and I that for a long time, and still do at times, feel like that should have been me for some reason. That she's maybe the better person and more capable, but that's opened up a new phase in my life. I still struggle with the guilt of that, but the truth, and I have to trust the voice that this has just simply opened up a new path that um, I'm chosen actually to fulfill and follow through on in business. Um, the the distinction that business is done in the dark, right? I was taught and was supported in compassion, right, and quality uh, of work, and creating standards that other people don't have, when I really should have been the truth, right? It should have been in the truth, um, and the and I had the conflict, like the idea of having conflict in my life in the past was really, I've never seen my parents fight, right? The idea of having conflict, and I saw them go to great lengths to avoid conflict, and this is what I grew up in. And coming into business, especially a business of engineering, design, contractors, unions, the IRS. I mean, the whole game is set up to actually embrace a conflict and grow and win the conflict, and it's actually what builds muscle. And it's given me some great permission, if you will, to have uh, conflict, and that righteous anger in a situation is actually a fuel and a tool to move forward. In the end, it's a vehicle for truth, right? It's accessing the truth, um, and I've come to actually trust the stack and make important decisions in my life based on the truth exposed by the stack. The assignment, once again, is to teach this. If you can't teach it, you don't know it. If you don't know it, you can't live it. And follow through on the remaining assignments at the bottom of the page. And we'll talk to you next week on day 29.